गुड मॉर्निंग बे आप सभी लोग हमें तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते
नमस्कार
वनकम
नमस्कार
खुशामदीद
अस्सलामुअलैकुम
सत श्री अकाल
वीकांतरिक वंदनम
जय स्वामी नारायण
जय श्री कृष्ण
जय जिनेन्द्र
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते या अली मदद
मलाली बदल बोलते साथी मंत्र बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बटजान हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू बाबा
एंड ऑफ कोर्स माय सेल्फ फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और ड्राइव टाइम दैट्स गोना मेक इट टोटली एक्साइटिंग एंड टोटली मस्तानी बन जाने
तो बटजान सबसे पहले लेट्स गो सी व्हाट्स हैपनिंग ऑन द रोड विद द रास्ते का हाल टोटल सस्ते में
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Azerbaijan 408-912-2479 if you want to know what's happening on the roads. Well, रास्ते पे तो of course थोड़ा बहुत पानी है, but just so drive very carefully. Bay Area freeways are looking totally free. Now, if you're planning to take a trip someplace, because some of you already have holiday mood, I know. 580s are reporting an accident exiting at the 13 in Oakland area. Watch out for that particular accident there. Similarly, in the East Bay, a lot of stuff happening. There's an accident on 80 eastbound east of the Gilman Street in Berkeley. Speaking of further down towards the almost close to that side, Bandujan, there's a traffic alert in because of an accident on the Acalanes Road in Lafayette. So. Those are the only things I can talk about. But San Jose actually reported a disabled vehicle southbound, south of Alum Rock. Watch out for that vehicle. Drive very carefully in the region, Bandujan. And yes, weather-wise, look at it. I told you yesterday it's going to kind of get cloudy. It is cloudy right now. We'll have rains. I don't know because they didn't have rain in the forecast yesterday, but we had rain this morning. So you never know what's going to happen, Bandujan. That's exactly what it is, like a box of chocolates. Temperatures like weather like a box of chocolates. You will never know what you're going to get. But tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow is going to be definitely sunny, Bandujan. Nice and sunny outside. And of course, let me remind you, today's last day of your Secret Santa. If you want to play the role of Secret Santa with Pragnya, all you got to do is go to the website pragnya.org because midnight today it'll close out, so you can't buy any more gifts, Bandujan, because our elves are packing all those gifts and everything. So definitely go and check it out, pragnya.org. But right now, Bandujan, let's go quickly check out what's happening with the news updates. Faltoni, what's news today?
Well, Alto Baba, it's very sombering news kind of thing because we do have stuff with regard to the COVID-19 deaths. COVID-19 kills a daily record of 3,000. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. COVID-19 kills a daily record of 3,580 people in the United States as a second vaccine nears approval. U.S. coronavirus deaths soared to this number, and COVID hospitalizations rose for the 19th straight day on Wednesday, ramping up the stakes as regulators on Thursday considered whether to approve a second COVID-19 vaccine. Another 232,255 cases were reported, the second highest daily caseload on record, as California becomes the first state to report more than 50,000 cases in a single day, according to a Reuters tally.
Wow, 50,000 cases positive. Matlab, it's almost a growth of 2.3% from the previous day. So, matlab, exponentially, it's growing, Bandujan. So, please, if you can, I know if you already are following it, just continue following safety regulations and wearing masks, washing your hands, staying healthy, all the stuff. But it is disturbing news, yeah.
Well, the United States leads the world with a cumulative 307,767 deaths and 17 million cases, as many Americans and the outgoing administration of President Donald Trump have resisted the stay-at-home orders and mask wearing that have proven effective at controlling the spread. But more help could be arriving soon with the second vaccine from Moderna nearing approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In fact, has said that as soon as possible, as soon as they get approval, they're ready to ship. They already have it ready. Everything they're geared to. Although there is kind of scary news. The first days of the Pfizer Inc.'s COVID-19 vaccine rollout have seen unexpected hitches, including some vaccines being stored at excessively cold temperatures and Pfizer reporting potential challenges in its vaccine production, U.S. officials said on a Wednesday press call. At least 2 trays of COVID-19 vaccine doses delivered in California needed to be replaced after their storage temperatures dipped below minus 80 degrees Celsius, which is about minus 112 Fahrenheit. U.S. Army General Gustavo Perna said on the call, Pfizer's vaccines made with partner BioNTech SE are supposed to be kept around minus 70 degrees centigrade, but it was kept at far colder temperatures. Officials are investigating whether storing the vaccines at excessively cold temperatures poses a safety or efficacy risk. They don't know yet. They're trying to figure that out. Also, Pfizer has some production issues, apparently, according to Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar.
And of course, a quick look at how well the regions in California are able to handle the load of ICUs. It's very disturbing, Manija. In fact, California Bay Area was actually pretty much very good in terms of having 21% of availability. It's dropped to 12.9% right now. ICU availability. It's a very serious matter to take into consideration. The other regions, of course, Greater Sacramento is 14%, and San Joaquin, another, they're full capacity right now, and they're having trouble trying to accommodate more patients who come in with ICU requirements, Manija. And same in Southern California as well, so in the fractions of a 0.5% of availability in the Southern California region. Northern California region, of course, has 28%, but the population is pretty sparse, right?
Yeah.
Bay areas where we are pretty much concerned about, you got to be very mindful of the fact that that is also something that if somebody gets diagnosed, the first place they go to is ICU, and that's where they'll treat it. And right now, there's no beds available there, so that's something you got to be mindful of also.
Right. Also, we had talked yesterday about the nor'easter. Remember the winter storm that has blasted the U.S. Northeast with snow, rain, and gusty winds? It was likely to dump a foot, that's about 30 centimeters or more of snow on parts of New England before heading out to sea or stay. So they're saying that this actually could be a good thing. The first major snowstorm of the season forced much of the population to obey stay-at-home orders, coronavirus orders, but it also disrupted travel, possibly including the distribution of the new COVID-19 vaccine. So that's the issue. By early Thursday morning, the storm had dumped more snow on New York City than all of last year's winter storms combined, the National Weather Service said. It also brought a wintry mix to Washington, parts of Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania on Wednesday, affecting an area home to more than 50 million people. Forecasts also showed that it's going to pummel Boston and parts of New England region before heading out to sea around nightfall. So stay safe. We know we have bandhus in all these areas. And those of you who are watching us from those areas, stay safe. We'll try to keep you as warm as possible. Remember, the weather outside is frightful, but your darlings on air are delightful. So simply know where to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, right?
Yeah.
Before then, many areas could also expect about 12 to 18 inches of snow, Bandajan. So that's another thing that could be happening. But people are saying that it could stop the spread of the virus because people are not going to go out.
Yeah.
As coronavirus aid talks drag on, the U.S. Congress is now preparing a stopgap vote to avoid a shutdown. Negotiations in U.S. Congress over final details of the $900 billion COVID-19 aid bill could spill into the weekend, requiring another stopgap spending bill to avert a looming government shutdown, Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said on Thursday. Top Republicans and Democrats were closer than ever to produce a fresh round of aid to salve the heavy human and economic toll of a pandemic that has killed more than 300,000 Americans and is worsening as winter approaches. Congress must either approve this coronavirus aid bill, riding along with a $1.4 trillion government funding measure, or pass a third stopgap funding bill by midnight Friday. Otherwise, federal agencies will be forced into shutting down many of their operations for a lack of money, a crisis that both parties want to avoid. So hopefully they'll come with something good with the aid bill.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
Also, Vice President Mike Pence will receive the coronavirus vaccine in public on Friday as the outgoing U.S. administration and President-elect Joe Biden's team try to build support for a mass inoculation to stanch the deadly pandemic. Pence, who has headed the White House Coronavirus Task Force, is poised to become the highest profile recipient to date of a vaccine rolled out in the United States this week, with hopes of curbing a virus that has killed more than 307,000 Americans. President Donald Trump, although, cannot take because he was just recently infected by the virus until his medical teams clear him to do so, which is, I think it's going to be late into the spring. He's not going to be able to take this particular vaccine. But President-elect Joe Biden is also going to take this vaccine, get inoculated in public, so that they can instill confidence in the American people. while speaking of leaders who have been testing positive for COVID-19, Badhujan, President Emmanuel Macron tested positive for coronavirus on Thursday, his office said, prompting a track and trace effort across Europe following meetings between the French leader and EU heads of government in recent days. Macron, 42, was running the country remotely after going into quarantine in the Elysee Palace, the presidency said. His wife, Brigitte, was also self-isolating. This diagnosis was made following a PCR test performed at the onset of the first symptoms, Macron's office said, declining to give further details of his conditions or symptoms that he had. He's going to cancel all of his upcoming trips, including a December 22nd visit to Lebanon, where the French president has led the international efforts to resolve a deep-rooted political crisis. Now let's shift gears and talk a little bit about this man who is, one of the, most high-profile predators, sexual predators in history, Banjan. This is Jeffrey Epstein, remember? Well, Frenchman Jean-Luc Brunel, who knew deceased sex offender and U.S. financier Jeffrey Epstein, was placed in custody on Wednesday in Paris, and this prosecutor's office said on Thursday. The department also told Reuters that his custody was part of a probe opened last year into allegations of rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment. Brunel, who has denied any wrongdoing, had in 2015 sued Epstein, claiming Epstein's high-profile legal troubles had unfairly embroiled him and damaged his modeling agency's reputation. If you remember, Jeffrey Epstein mysteriously died in August 2019 in his jail cell in the United States, and an autopsy report concluded that he hanged himself, although he was on suicide watch. Well, let's also go over, speaking of the European Union, Badhujan, senior British Minister Michael Gove put the chances of securing a trade deal with the European Union at less than 50% on Thursday, striking a pessimistic tone just 2 weeks before Britain completes its departure from the bloc. And also in some technology news, Manajan, makers of cars and electronic devices from TVs to smartphones are sounding alarm bells about a global shortage of chips, which is causing manufacturing delays as consumer demand bounces back from the coronavirus crisis.
Just when we told people to eat healthy and not eat chips.
It's not those chips. It's the chips, the semiconductor chips that go in your cars, in your mobile phones, and everything else.
Okay.
The problem has several causes. Apparently, industry executives and analysts are saying, including bulk buying by the US sanctions hit Chinese giant Huawei Technologies, a fire at a chip plant in Japan, coronavirus lockdowns in Southeast Asia, and a strike in France are all contributing to the chip shortage. So more fundamentally, however, there has been an underinvestment in the 8-inch chip manufacturing plants owned mostly by Asian firms, which means they have struggled to ramp up production as demand for 5G phones, laptops, and cars picked up faster than expected. Over here in the United States, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq hit record highs on increased optimism over a coronavirus stimulus bill, even as unexpected rise in weekly jobless claims pointed to further economic stress from the COVID-19 pandemic. In terms of the S&P, it recorded a 28 new 52-week highs and no new lows, while the Nasdaq recorded 141 new highs and 3 new lows. In news from India, India's Supreme Court on Friday declined calls to ban a weeks-long farm protest and asked the government and the unions to help form a committee of experts to mediate between them. We make it clear that we recognize the fundamental right to protest against a law. There is no question of balancing or curtailing it, but it should not damage anyone's life or property, Chief Justice S.A. Bobde said. And in other news, the Narcotics Control Bureau has sent a notice to filmmaker Karan Johar over a 2019 party video in which most of them look intoxicated.
Oh my God! just on the video.
Yes, and of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be speaking on the benefits of these new agricultural laws in an address to Madhya Pradesh farmers today, and we will bring you details about that tomorrow. The Gujarat BJP chief C.R. Patil has criticized Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for supporting the farmers' protest and asked if they can even differentiate between food crops.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah, and finally, during the LAC standoff, Anujan, India's Ministry of Defense has approved new AWACS project and acquisitions worth 28,000 crores to buy 6 airborne warning and control system aircrafts. So if you want to get more information about all of this, Banujan, you can go to mediamahima.com. If not, we're going to see you tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Till then, have yourself a terrific Thursday. And what is this song, Altu Baba?
Jago, from the movie Rock On 2, John. Wake up, everybody, wake up!
Stay safe, stay happy.
कोई रवाज रोक के रुकना नहीं, रीतों के रस्म के आगे झुकना नहीं, उठो और तोड़ डालो संजीर तुम, मिटा दो और फिर से लिखो तकदीर तुम, सब जान जाए तुमको, पहचान जाए तुमको, मान जाए तुमको, हे जागो, सब जान जाए तुमको, पहचान जाए तुमको,